Alright everybody, my name is Rudy J. Ferretti. So besides being an avid gamer, it's very important that any good gamer, as Todd Rogers would say, you're only as good as your joystick. So the truth, nothing could be more than true than that, okay? Give you an idea, a while back I got very lucky, got a bone controller at Goodwill for pennies on the dollar. It was disgusting. As you can see, I cleaned it. It's nice and shiny. It's cleaned. It's sanitized. I cleaned the screws, everything. I replaced all the buttons. Once a year, I rebuild my controllers from the inside out. Of course, I don't do the electronics part of it, but I clean the inside and replace the inserts. And I'm going to show you about that in a minute. Now, I got this one yesterday. A guy off of Craigslist. It looks okay, but if you look closely, there's a lot of dirt on it and stuff. It is pretty bad. But what's even worse is this right here. Look at the dust on this. He was a nice person, and he gave me a great deal. He gave me 10 bucks. He gave me the system, the controllers, the whole 9 yards. I opened up the box, and I found a cockroach in the box. But I vacuumed out the system and did not find anything in there, did not see anything in there. It's not in bad shape, per se. So what I'm going to do is take this apart. We're going to see what goodies are inside, and hopefully we can salvage the system so I can use it for a backup in case my other toaster goes out. But as good of a gamer as you must be, you also must be able to take care of your systems and your controllers. There's no question about it. You must baby your stuff. You have to be very anal about your stuff, because if you're not, it won't work properly and you'll have a lot of problems. Of course, that's common sense, but at the same time, believe me, I know a lot of gamers personally that do not take care of their stuff. Anyways, let's get to the introduction. First of all, you're going to need some microfiber towels. No, not terry cloth towels, not regular towels, microfiber. See? All right, you're going to need a cheap toolkit. You can get it at Fry's Electronics or whatever. Phillips screwdriver. These are about a couple dollars on eBay. These are rebuild kits for your NES, Super NES. Sometimes they have Sega Genesis controllers. We'll get to that later. You can go into the dollar store and get these little electronic toolkit things and stuff like that. You will also need cotton swabs, yes, and the safety ones are the better ones. I love safety cotton swabs. They're great for cleaning games. They leave less residue, and these are only $1 something in Big Lots. Got to keep it cheap because you're going to be using it a lot. I love this product too. I also get this in Big Lots because it's very expensive in the regular store. 409 all-purpose cleaner. Now don't get me wrong, you're not going to spray down the system with this or anything like that. What you're going to do is you're going to clean certain areas with the 409, basically to disinfect and deodorize, if there's anything. You don't do the contacts inside the machine. Now you can use it. I don't care what anybody says. Definitely need the dust, air blower. There's no question about it. And you are going to need not 25, not 100%, not 50, but 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's get started. Alright, so let's get started. So basically I'm going to take my regular Phillips screwdriver in this case, and I'm going to start on each side. Usually if the screws are stripped, the bigger screwdriver will actually do the trick in this case, and this one's going to come out really easy, obviously. You pretty much can feel it when you start, and just take it out of there, no big deal. I'm going to show you also how to clean these a little bit later on. So I just go corner to corner first, and I take them all apart, one by one, take each screw out. So like I was saying before, folks, you gotta, besides being a good gamer, you also have to be able to know how to clean and maintain your systems. This is a magnetic screwdriver. You can't always get these everywhere, but sometimes they're pretty readily available, like in a Big Lots, or sometimes even in the dollar store. But like I said, they're not always available. Sometimes nobody has them. They're always out. And they don't always work either. So I just go from corner to corner. In some cases, some screws are actually falling out of the system array, which is not a bad thing. I'm anxious to see what we're going to have when we get inside this system. I hope there's no little bear critters in there. So let's see if I can get this screw out here. Alright, so we got the first couple of screws out, and like I said, I'm going to show you how to clean those later. And I'm going to turn the system around here. And we're going to do this area here. This is where the controller port is. And make sure, in my case, I don't need to make a map because I know how to put these back together like the back of my hand. But some of you might be amateurs and might say to yourself, well, you know, make a diagram. Since we're in modern times, use your camera phone, whatever you need to do to map yourself out, to figure out, you know, what you have and what you don't have. So in this case right now, I'm going to pop the system open. Alright, so we're back. I don't know what happened. The system didn't want to open, so I finally got it to open, but I put it back together just to show you. So it should be very easy to pop open. So just turn it back right side up, and pop your controller port out a little bit gently, and then gently just pull from side to side on the system. It should pop off pretty easy. Alright, and basically you're going to take this and it's going to be washed. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a couple of moments here. Right now though, I'm looking in the system to make sure that there's nothing nasty going on in here. So I'm going to show you how to clean it, everything, and put it back together again. It's not necessary for the shield to be on the NES, but it does help with dust and stuff like that. But it's not 100% necessary. And certain screws you gotta be careful because not all of them are the same size. So in this case for the shield, I put the screws in a different area. You want to take your time taking this apart. You don't need to go crazy. Like I said, I've done so many of them, I can do them like the back of my hand, so I just do them over and over again all the time. So it's pretty easy for me. So after I get this off, we're going to take a look and see what's going on with this. I must say, after taking the shield off, I'm pretty impressed. Looking at the pin connector, it's actually, you can't really see on the video. I mean, I don't have $1 million camera, but it is pretty shiny, and it looks pretty fresh. This system actually, as dirty as it was when I got it, I have to say the internal parts of it are really nice. So in this case, I'm just going to do something very simple. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol and open that like so. I'm going to take my duster and make sure there's anything bad in there. And I'm going to get a different can of duster because this one's dying. So first I'm going to see if there's any serious dust in there. And honestly, it's pretty clean. So it's not going to go too crazy because there's no reason to. There's really nothing serious going on inside this system, which is good. So now I'm just going to take some isopropyl alcohol, like I told you before, the 70%, and with a microfiber towel, and I'm just going to gently go across the contacts, just to see if there's anything going on in there. I have to say, this person that had this system actually looks like he took care of it. I'm not seeing anything coming off. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cleaner in there, and I'm going to show you that. Something I didn't share in the beginning of the video, a little secret for you folks. As you can see, this is white like the day that I bought it. You know why? Because it never has to be thrown out. It can be used again and again and again. This was a cleaner that they sold in Funkoland, God rest their souls, because when GameStop took over, nitty. Anyways, so what I did was I just took that apart for you to show you. This was the maintenance kit that they used to give you to get a 1-year warranty on the system, and it was quite an awesome fucking kit. It was like these little ropey type, you know, cleaners that they had. But I don't have those anymore. Those are long gone. Because back then I didn't know any better. But I did manage to keep this cartridge, and no joke, I've had this for well over 10 years. Matter of fact, 15 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this. What I did was first I took a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and I put it back on the towel, and I'm just putting it again across the thing here, like so. So I'm entering it into the machine, and I'm cleaning the machine now. While obviously it's all apart. So I'll just go up, down a couple times, and then what I do is I'm going to hold the machine and I'm going to slide it in and out a bunch of times. It makes it a lot easier to clean it this way. And I'm going to pull it out. And to be honest with you, The system is really not that dirty at all. It's in really, really, really good shape. I'm just gonna give it a once over again. And take a look at it again, and it's pretty clean. The system's in very good shape. So all I need to do with this, as you can see, it's got, you can't really tell, I guess, but it's got a little bit of black on it now. So before it sets in, I'm just going to go over here with a little isopropyl alcohol to my sink here. I'm going to turn a little hot water on, take one of my towels, and I'll wipe this sucker off. And then she's ready again. And if the alcohol don't work, you just rinse it off really good, take a little bit of that 409, and get your cloth on there. Get it off and it's like new again. You're ready to go. Eventually I'm sure the glue will wear off of this piece, but you know, you have to do what you have to do sometimes. So I just take that, put that aside here. And I think the system's pretty clean, but I'm gonna give it a once over again, just to be on the safe side. Better to be safe than sorry. Years ago, the cleaning kits used to tell you to use water, which I thought was funny. You know, we used to say do not immerse in water, do not use water. But so I'm gonna do it again. Do a little bit of a back and forth. And there's barely any black on there now at all. So the system internally is ready to go. Now don't get me wrong, folks. If it was really nasty inside and dirty and disgusting, I would tell you to take the rest of the system apart and you would do all the screws and you would need to totally redo it. So now in this case, I'm just going to take my microfiber towel here with some more isopropyl alcohol, like so. We already went over the contacts and now they're dry. So I'm just going to go over the internals here. Just give it a little once over, just to get rid of any extra dust or grime that might be in there from over the years of people blowing into the system or whatever. Eventually I'm going to replace the pin connector on this, but for right now we just want to make sure it's working. I haven't even tested this thing yet. So we're going to come over here now to the sink here. And, I'm going to show you really quick. So as you can see, I've got the top part in the sink, and it's disgusting. It's really, really gross. And I'm going to use a combination of alcohol and my 409 to clean it. Of course, one at a time. So I'll show you that in just a moment. First, I'm going to rinse the top and the bottom off to get it nice and moist and get it ready for some cleaning. I'm going to take my 409 and I'm going to basically saturate the console. The 409 cleaner degreaser will not harm the shell of the system. It will clean it. And, it may not come perfect, but you can get it close, and that's really all that matters. You're going to give it another rinse, you know, before you put it back together again. Sometimes these consoles they get oxidized, I guess, per se, whatever you want to call it. They lose their color and they get really disgusting. Some of them, not all of them. You can also get shells, brand new shells online at certain stores and stuff. And, you know, you definitely want to give it a good scrubbing. You don't know who's touched it or where it's been, and that's not being paranoid. It's just being, you know, clean. You want your console to be clean because, you know, you don't want any germs or anything on it. You don't want any grime or any old stuff from people blowing in it, spitting whatever the fuck they were doing, you know, playing with beer and drinking soda pop and the whole 9 yards. And you just want to give it a good scrubbing, you know. It's like it's just anything else. You know, you're giving your system a bath. Okay, that's what you're doing. Why? Because I said so. And go inside. Make sure you wipe down the insides too. You don't have to go too crazy on the inside because nobody's going to see the inside, but you want to clean it enough so that all the grime and germs are out of there. So when you put your new cartridges in and everything else, you don't have to worry. And I'm going to show you here in a minute how clean this is coming. This is coming quite clean. And you saw the smudges and stuff of what is on it when I first showed it to you. I'll rinse it off here. Let's say anything non-acetone to clean the system. Somebody freaking put a little bit of permanent marker on here, and I was not able to get that off with what I used. If you have a solution, feel free to drop me a line and let me know. I don't know everything. I know about how to disinfect and deodorize and keep it clean. Now in this case, I live in a really hot area of Las Vegas, Nevada, so I can actually take this and get away with it and hang it outside to dry, and it'll dry shortly. But in your case, wherever you are, you might want to take your system and leave it somewhere else to dry. And you can also whip it back and forth and wave it. It really doesn't matter what you do. But as you can see, I got most of the grime and the disgusting filth off of this system where it was when I bought it. It's really clean now. It smells nice and lemony fresh too. I have to brag about it. It's kind of funny. And she's ready to go. So I'm going to put her aside like so. And now I'm going to carefully bring over the other side of the system, because we can't scrub it and clean it down like we did with the other one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my 409 and I'm going to spray it down on a cloth and do it by hand. How to clean your screws. So you take your nasty, dirty, filthy screws from an old system, and you can put it in a little cup. In my case, I used a old yogurt container. Yes, I rinsed it out very well with soap and water. Anyways, so it's really easy. It's a lot easier to do it this way because you can cup your hand right around the little cup and you can shake it all around to get it nice and clean. So what I do is I take a little bit of my 409, I spray it in there like so. I mix it with a little bit of warm water. I put my hand over it and I shake it around and I let the water out. And the screws are like brand new. What I do though is I give it another quick rinse because the stuff is very concentrated. I keep my hand over it just enough so that I don't lose the screws in the sink, but at the same time I can also let all the water out into my hand and it'll run down into the sink. I'm not going to use a strainer. There's no reason to go crazy. The whole idea is I'm doing this video to show you how to budget to do it. So the screws are pretty nice and clean now. And just to be on the safe side, what you do is you just take your cloth and just dump the rest in there, even if it's got water on it or whatever. And just so they don't rust or anything like that, you just give it a once over with the cloth and dry them up. Once they're dry, it's fine. It doesn't matter how much water hit it. It's not going to hurt anything because you're not constantly leaving water on them. You're just cleaning them enough so you can put them back in the system. So in case you are putting the system back for resale, you know, the screws look nice and brand new and shiny like that, like the day you bought the system. Alright, so the next segment here, what you want to do is you want to spray these grooves right here because they're very hard to get to with Q-tips or alcohol or whatever, so you spray it up with your 409, right? Give it a little rinse, then take your sprayer here and just go in there in the grooves like that to get all that dirt out of there, because that stuff's disgusting. You don't want that. You want to get all that out, and that's the only way really to get it out. Even the blower is not going to get all this out. It just doesn't work like that. And don't ask me why, I don't know. Just give it another quick rinse after you do the blower, because you want to get all that stuff out, everything that's in there, and then just give it a little quick run over, and then as you can see in there, it's clean as a whistle, and it is, even though you can't tell. And what you do is you dry it off. With another microfiber towel. So you get all the water out before you put the system back together. You don't want any water. None. Zero. Zilch. Zippo. Not a drop. Sometimes it's unavoidable. So as you can see, it's like brand new. Inside and out. There's no more dirt, no more grime. Nothing. Not bad, huh? Not bad for 10 bucks. Not bad at all. Now that the system's completely cleaned the way that it needed to be, and hopefully restored, let's go give her a test drive, shall we? Let's see if we have a winner. So this is the test phase now of the system. Here we go. Did we score for 10 bucks? I'm going to use my bone controller that I rebuilt months ago that I've never actually used yet. Let's check a look. Uh-oh, it didn't go on. Is it the game or is it the system? Oh, the game just giving me a hard time. Let's take a look. Oh, the game's working. And so is my rebuilt controller. Yep. It sure is. Alright. We got a winner. $10, baby. $10 fucking dollars. I got myself a system that works like a gem.